Hi, I'm Dr. Tobes. On this channel, I will be covering Linux, DevOps, software engineering, and other tech-related topics. So if you consider this interesting, please subscribe and turn on your notification to get notified when new video drops. I also consider liking and sharing this video so that it can reach more people. In this video, I will be covering the top 5 essential tasks to do first when setting up a new Linux server in the cloud or whether in your home server. So these steps will help you to ensure a secure, resilient, and efficient and properly configured server environment. So let's dive in.
Okay guys, so let's get started. Now I want to assume you already know how to create a server, whether on AWS, DigitalOcean, Azure, Linode, or even your home server. But if you don't, but let me quickly run you through how to do that. So on DigitalOcean, if you want to use DigitalOcean as an example, you log into your dashboard. Once you log into your dashboard, you should see you select a project. So me, I'm going to create it in my YouTube content. That's where I create everything related to YouTube. Then you create a droplet. So you click on the create, then there's a drop down, you create a droplet. So droplet is a VM as your server. So then you have to select a location, that's a region. And in this case, you want to do a region that is closer to you. So I will choose London, for example. Then I will choose an OS. So along the line, if there is any command that is specific to any of the Linux distro, I will let you know. So let's just move forward. So we'll create a 1 gig Ubuntu for an example. Then we'll create a root password. So here we create a root password. So because we want to go through the process of setting up the SSH and all that, so we're creating a root password and using that root password to log in. Then so that's that. Then we click on create. So we'll give it some time. So I will catch you back once it's finished loading. Welcome back. So we have created our Ubuntu system. So alongside, I've created a Fedora system as well. So to show us an example of how it works in other Linux distro, maybe Red Hat, Fedora, CentOS, Rocky Linux, and the family of the enterprise Linux system. So that's why we have Fedora here. So I will be giving you an example. In most cases, most of the commands should work in any Linux, and if there any Linux environment, and if there is anyone that doesn't work in any environment, a specific to any environment, I will let you know. So that's that. Also, if you want to create a Linux server on your home server, for example, this is my home lab, and you can see. So, and I'm using ProxMox, by the way. So, if you want to create a Linux server on your home lab, you are using home lab, so you can just go and click on create VM. Then you set the necessary parameters like VM ID. So I'm going to choose like 400, and I'm going to give you a name, and I'll give it a name, Linux Ubuntu server 2. Then because I already have a server 1, then I'm going to give it Ubuntu an image. So if you want me to go in depth into this, please leave a comment so that I can go in depth into my home lab and what I have there, and also how to create servers on your home lab and how to manage it. Let me know in the comment section. So I'm going to run through this quickly. So you leave this as default. And leave it at 32 gig. That's the big size. And I would like to put this as 2 cores. Then I can give it 4 gig of RAM. Then the network, everything should be fine. Then I'll continue with the rest. So you can see I just created a new Ubuntu system or Ubuntu server, so I can boot into it and continue running it. But that's not the topic for today. So after you have created your server, Linux server, irrespective of how you created it, whether through the cloud or AWS, Azure, or Linux or DigitalOcean. So the most important thing is to have your Linux server and have the IP address ready. So once you have the IP address ready, you can use to connect. So you copy the IP address. I want to assume you already have SSH keys. So if you don't have SSH key, so let me quickly run you through how to create an SSH key. So you use a command called SSH key gen to generate an SSH key. Once you type that, so it will ask you a couple of questions. So this is the default directory that it will be created. So you can change it, but you don't really need that. You can just type enter a couple of times. So if you really want an in-depth tutorial on this, let me know in the comment section. So now I've created an SSH key. And how do I know that I have SSH key? So you just list where the command is. So you can see this is the one I just created just now. After you are through with creating your SSH key and you have your SSH key ready, so what you want to do now is to log into your server. So, and how do you log into your server? You use SSH root at the IP address of your server. So I'm going to copy that in here like this. So because I'm logging in for the first time, it will ask me, do I want to continue? That I can type yes, and then it's asking me for password here. You can see, so I'm going to type my password here. So now I have logged into my system. The next thing I want to do is to get rid of using password to log in. That is, when I want to log in the next time, it shouldn't ask me for password. So I have to upload my public key. Now how do I do that? So I have to, it essentially involves copying my public key into the authorized keys. So I'm going to show you. There are a couple of methods you can use to achieve that. Let me show you some of those methods. So the first one to do is that I can just cut my SSH key. That's the public key, not the private key. I can just cut it, then I copy it. So it's as simple as copying. Then I go to my server. I do nano.ssh/authorized keys. Then I will paste here Ctrl+S and Ctrl+X. That's what I will use to save and exit, and that's it. So now how do I confirm if I have my public key uploaded correctly? So I'm going to log out now. Once I log out, then I will try to log in again. This time it shouldn't ask me for password again. So voila, that's it. So I have successfully uploaded my public key. Yeah, another method of copying your SSH key to your Linux server is using a special command program called SSH copy ID. So you can actually copy it manually if you like, or you can use this program to copy. So you do SSH copy ID, then -i, that is identity file, then you provide your identity file, then the path to your identity file, so and root at your ID, your password. So but currently I've already copied my RSA. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to copy another key which I have generated. You can see I've generated another key, so I'm going to copy it there. So let me first of all go here. If I check, you can see there are only one key, one SSH key here. So if I run this command, it should copy there. You can see, once I see this command, I know it has added. So if I go and check my server again, Ubuntu server, you can see and now I have the key, so you can copy it manually or use this program. So there are various methods to copy that. Henceforth, I will not be using password to log in any longer. The next thing I want to do now is to set my host name and domain name. So this method is universal and it's applicable to both Debian Ubuntu family of Linux distro and also the Fedora, Red Hat Linux, Enterprise Linux, the CentOS, Rocky Linux, and the rest. So you can use it on any system. So it's universal. So what I want to do is type hostname. The command to do that is hostname ctl, then hostname. Then I will type the hostname I want to give to it. So because this is an Ubuntu server, I want to name it properly. Ubuntu server 1, then, and that's it. So I've changed the hostname. But what you might be surprised that this has not changed at the moment. So what I'm going to do, I will have to reboot the system for it to take effect. So that's what I'm going to do now. Reboot the system for it to take effect. And once I do that, so I log in again. That's it. Root. So now I've logged in again. So I'm going to do that also for the Fedora hostname ctl, hostname Fedora server 1, and that's it. So I will reboot. So you can see now I have my server properly named. And so I have changed the host name. So the next thing I want to do after changing the host name is changing the domain name. And to change the domain name, you go to nano, go to the etc host file, then you change it. So most times you can see, most times you might not have this 127.0.1.1 there, so you have to add it if you don't have it there. So you clear anything that is here like this, then you type your host name. So in my own case, I want my host name to be the same as my domain name to be the same as my host name. The host name is going to be Ubuntu server 1 now. So I'm going to save it. I'm using Ctrl S to save and Ctrl X to exit. I'm going to do the same for Fedora as well. So it's so you might need to use sudo if you are not a root user, but currently I'm a root user, so I don't need sudo. So I will nano etc host. So now you can see on the Fedora the following lines are not. So what I want to do here is I want to change this to Fedora server 1. Then I want to change the host name, the IP address to 5. So I've successfully done that. Then I can save and exit. So that's it. So that's how to change the host name and the domain name. So next is to update the packages and the system. So and this is where the commands start to diverge. between the Debian Ubuntu family of Linux and on the Fedora, Red Hat, Enterprise Linux, and the CentOS, Rocky Linux, and all that. So, and I'm going to show you how to do it in both ways. So, on the an Ubuntu server or a Debian server, any family of Ubuntu, you do apt update. Once you do apt update, so what apt update does is to update the repository, as link the repository. Make sure you have a currently linked repository. Then after you have done that, you can see it's telling me I have 18 packages to install. So I want to install it. I'm going to do apt upgrade. Then I'll do -y. That's for yes. So I don't need to type yes again. So I'll wait for it. So I'll get back to you when that's finished. So while that is going on, I can go to the Fedora side of things. Then I do so on the Fedora you use dnf, and it is just only one command that you use, dnf update. So that's what updates the system. So you can see it's asking me for yes, so I will type yes. So I will have to type y because n is in capital letter, so which means n is already chosen, so I have to change it, the chosen answer to y. So if I choose n, it won't do it, it will truncate the process. So and now the Fedora is also upgrading. So let's just wait for it. I will catch you back later once it finishes. So welcome back, guys. So the update has finished. You can see this is Ubuntu. So I Ubuntu, then and this is Fedora. So now the next thing online is to add user. So I'm adding user in the family of Ubuntu. Debian Ubuntu family is quite different, although we use the same command, but the command are completely different command and they require different arguments. So let's start with Ubuntu first. So on an Ubuntu, if you want to create a user, you use add user. Then you type the name of the user you want to create. So in my name, I'm going to type Dr. Two. Then you click enter. So it will ask you for password, so you can type your password. Once you do that, so it will ask you for a repeat of password, type that. Then you have optional data that you can input there, so you can just click enter to skip them, and then after that you type yes, you are done. So you have already created a user. So how do you know you have created a user? You do ls/home. Check your home directory, so you should see the name of the user you just created. Now that's how you create a new on an Ubuntu system. Furthermore, after you have created a new user on an Ubuntu system, so you want to give the user a sudo privilege. So this is how you do it. You use the user mode command -a g to add it to a group, then you add it to the sudo group, then you type the name of the user you want to give the sudo privilege, and that's it. So you have your user giving the sudo privilege, and you can continue. After creating the users and giving it root privilege, so I'm not giving the sudo privilege rather. So you might want to switch to the user. So this is how you switch to that user you just created. So and now you have successfully switched to your new user you created. So now let's move on to how to create it, how to do the same on the Fedora, how to create a new user on the Fedora. So on the Fedora, things are a little bit different because of the command you have to type. And remember earlier I told you that the command is the same thing, but the arguments differ. So in a Fedora family of systems, so what you do is you do add user, then you do -m -g users, then you will do the dash G will. You add it to the will. So the will is equivalent to the sudo on Ubuntu. Then you do the name of the user that you want to give a root user. I mean the sudo privilege. You type that, so you can see it went through and no error. So and how do you confirm that you have successfully added a new user? You do /home /home. So you should see the name of the new user you just created, and that's how you do it. So to set a password on a Fedora server, Fedora system, you do password, then it will ask you for password, so you can set any password you like. Do you retype it, and that's how you set password. So if you want to switch to the new user you just created, you do the same command. At this point, I want to log out of the server and log in as my user, not the root user. So I'm going to type exit again. I'm going to type Control D. I'm going to hold that Control and type D. So now I will log in as the user specified, the user I created. I'm going to do SSH. Instead of root, I'm going to do sudo at my IP address over here. My IP address over here. So I'm going to type my password that I created for this user. And now I'll be able to log into the server with a new user. And similarly, it's possible. Similar thing is possible on Fedora as well. The next thing you want to do after you have set up your system, setting up SSH, creating a new user, is disable password login, so that nobody can use password to log in here. Even if they get access to your root password, so they can't log in if they are not using SSH. So this is what you are going to do. You do sudo, because you need sudo because you are not a root user anymore. So you do SSH config, then sudo nano. So you now go to password. So password authentication, you enable it. If it is, you enable password authentication, you put it at no, and that's it. So you are successful. Control S and Control X to save and exit. Whatever you want to do with your system. So you have successfully set up your Linux system, secure, resilient, and fully configured, well configured. So okay guys, so you might discover that this step is very taxing and could be monotonous. So join me in my next video where I will be diving into how to automate all this process with all these steps with Ansible. And here you will learn how to do automation with Ansible, how to install Ansible, then how to automate your server setup with Ansible, and so much more. So consider subscribing so that you can get notification when I drop the video, and also like and share this video to help others. Thank you.